back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Michael Bisping is calling out all the 2-bit journalists for false fight reports, mainly talking about him versus Rashad Evans. Now, there was also talks about Michael Bisping versus Vitor Belfort. I mean, there's been a lot of talks about Michael Bisping on this UFC London main event, and Michael Bisping is getting tired of the false reports. But I do have to say one thing before I even get this video started, is Michael Bisping is part of the reason all of these false reports are happening, because if Michael Bisping wouldn't have announced months ago that he was going to be retiring at UFC London, a lot of people wouldn't be speculating who is his opponent going to be. Is it going to be Vitor? That makes perfect sense. All these other guys are booked. Is it going to be Rashad? So people start to get to speculating. They might hear a rumor, and so they report on it because that's their job. But as I said, if Michael Bisping wouldn't have announced his retirement, there probably wouldn't be as many of these reports. But this is what Michael Bisping had to say. I'm going to have one last fight, maybe. If some 2-bit journalists out there on the internet have fucking picked up some information, that's great. But I'm not going to publicly go out and say things when I can't say them. Because you know what, Luis Gomez? I'm a professional. Yes, people are reporting it that I'm fighting Rashad Evans, but I'm not. So apparently there is a rumor going around about me and Rashad, and I'll say this. I don't know what to say. Let's start with the obvious. Rashad fights at 205, I fight at 185. So that doesn't even make sense. Now we got to stop right there, because actually it does make sense. Rashad Evans' most recent fight was actually at 185 pounds, and Michael Bisping has also formerly fought at 205 pounds. So, and these guys have fought before. So of course they could meet somewhere at 205 or at 185 or even 195 catch weight. Michael Bisping versus Rashad Evans makes perfect sense, and it makes even more sense when you consider Michael Bisping shut down the Vitor Belfort fight rumors, and those came from, Dana White himself talked about Michael Bisping and Vitor Belfort. It would have been a grudge match, a retirement match, a super retirement fight. Vitor and Bisping said they're going to retire their next fight. It would have been a rematch. It made perfect sense. So that's where a lot of those, and then Dana White came out and said, yeah, we're talking to, Bisping, trying to get him to accept the fight with Belfort now. Bisping came out and turned down that fight, so it leaves all of the 2-bit reporters, or in my case 3-bit reporters, because if those guys are 2-bit, what the fuck am I? But either way, it leaves us all to speculate. Okay, so Michael Bisping said he's going to retire at UFC London, and the only, who's left? Rashad Evans? Oh, okay, that makes sense as well. So a lot of people report on that. So Michael Bisping is upset with the media right now, but it is what it is. The media and the fans really, even in support of Michael Bisping, just want to know when his next fight is, especially if it's going to be his retirement fight, so we can support him. I mean, Michael Bisping, yeah, there's some people that don't like Bisping, but he's got a lot of fans. So with that being said, even if you're a fan or somebody that wants to see Michael Bisping win his retirement fight and, end his storied career at home in the main event that you announced, we just want to see that. So just because people are reporting on the fight, it doesn't even mean it's necessarily a bad thing, So with that being said, I think I've said enough on this video. It is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think about Michael Bisping calling out 2-bit journalists for their false fight reports in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.